rocking the high life again, babe. Hello, Tim.
My main man, Mike. What's up?
For the video listener, I'm showing Tim my just just so aesthetically pleasing glass bottle of Miller High Life. Is there a better looking presentation of cheap beer than this? I can't think of one.
That's that's a good take. I would say maybe the Coors original bottle is pretty cool looking.
The little squat guys, yeah.
Yep.
I like Coors original cans too, like the off white, the cream colored almost like
Yeah.
the Phillies Sunday home game jerseys or whatever the fuck those are,
I have a Jimmy Rollins one of those.
Sick.
Yeah.
Should be in the Hall of Fame. But he's kept out because of racism against Philadelphians. But how you doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy 2024, man.
It's been a while. Did you have a nice holiday season?
Yeah, so both Kat and I don't have big families, so it's pretty low key as far as like relative to holidays go.
Yeah.
I remember when my brother and I, well, I guess I was like in eighth grade. My brother was in high school. His high school girlfriend kind of had a big family, and like I experienced their holiday once, and
Mhm.
it was cool. Like it's they had like 20 plus people in the house, and both grandmas like from both sides were there, and like we never had that growing up, and even still now with our significant others, we just don't have that big of a family. So it's never more than like 10 people, which is nice. It's great to
That's a
see
good
them.
crowd. That's a good party.
Yeah, and everybody gets along. Like it's never. I was saying this to Kat on like the ride home from hanging out with her family. Like it's never. I never have anxiety in seeing them. I never dread seeing them. Like, oh man, just got to take this for the team. I guess I
Yes.
legitimately like hanging out with them and bullshitting with them, and they're
That's
they're good
fucking
humans.
yeah, that's you can't ask for anything more. You don't want to be fucking going to your significant others families with a feeling of fucking dread in your stomach, you know what I mean?
Totally.
That's like I mean that's going to stay with you for the rest of your life. That's unsustainable. so so it's good. That's good. No.
And I should say too, since my mom's probably watching, we always enjoy hanging out with them.
That's fun too, okay?
I think it's more that they like to see Cat more than me.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, all good.
Good. Well, I'm glad. It feels like it didn't happen. This was I don't know. I had a good time. Christmas Eve is like the one day where my family, the Antonellis, get together. We're not like a see each other every other month type of family in terms of like cousins and uncles and aunts and things like that. So I always very much look forward to Christmas Eve. Then we had a good ass time, of course. Salvador's first Christmas, which is nice, but he's a little baby. It's basically a skip for parents. You get a free space on this one. You don't have to do shit because it's like
They're not gonna remember this shit.
no, it's like don't I mean, God bless. I don't one thing I do well, okay, since having a kid, I'm a lot more understanding of certain behaviors of parents and a lot less understanding of others, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
uh so much shit that I you know just would like bother me before I knew. Like now I know, and it's like I'm an asshole for ever even thinking that. But so I don't, I hesitate to say anything like this, but some parents go like crazy all out for their first. Like if Sal's 7 months, 6, 7 months, I'm not gonna fucking spend $1,000. Like there's a certain like babies will hit a certain point where they're into ripping open packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
So fucking he's not there yet. Could not give a shit. In fact, he'll swallow the paper and choke. He's done it before and threw up. It was very scary. He stopped breathing. It was a scary time. So you get a free pass, no pressure. But it is what it is. I haven't felt the Christmas spirit really, and I don't even know when. The past few years, it's just maybe because it's 50 degrees every day, and
That
that's
doesn't help.
troubling, of course. And it's there's no snow, no chance of snow, just brown mud and rain. It's just not doesn't I don't know, something about seeing Christmas lights up in the brown, wet, 50-degree fucking Seattle rain, that we live in now.
I mean, maybe it's because I recently rewatched it, but it very much looks like Blade Runner 2049, where it's just like bleak, gray, and raining
Yeah,
all the time.
all the fucking time,
I
man.
was thinking about you and Keenan though over the holidays because I was wondering if it's like you're the main attraction of this Christmas because you have
Mm,
this newborn
mm,
child and you're being pulled in a thousand different directions, or not you, but Sal and
yeah.
Oliver with Keenan, like just being pulled. Like, no, I want time with the baby. No, I want time with the baby. Like, was there any of that going on?
Luckily, no, because we have so few places to go. So it's like Christmas Eve, Antonelli's, saw all them. And then Christmas Day, went to Tam's family. So everybody sees Sal, everybody's happy. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Easy. We have it very lucky in that sense. But yeah, I could imagine, you know, some parents probably get a ton of shit and it sucks because, there's already enough pressure on this time of year to spend all your money on people. Now it's like, "Oh, you're guilting me for not coming not letting you make my plans. Fuck off. Do
I
whatever
guess
you want."
I guess I was thinking of not running to a bunch of different locations, but just even in those two settings, like while you're in them, are people kind of fighting over Sal's attention?
That's great. I
Right.
love at this age. I go to a fucking party, pass Sal off, and then I'm basically free for the night. It's like everybody wants to see him and hold him and pass him around. Great. Do it. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those, some parents are very afraid of germs and stuff like that, which I understand. Um, but not me. I'm like, here, you could take him, give him to whoever you want. Just don't cough directly into his mouth or face. And, don't kiss him. You're really not supposed to kiss babies. I mean, I kiss my baby 1,000 times a day, but I'm allowed to. But like, you're not supposed to kiss strange babies, which is difficult. If I'm holding a baby, I want to give it a kiss, but you're not supposed to do that because of RSV or something. But yeah, that rocks because, once they start running around. Then you take them to parties and people are like, get this fucking kid out of here. Like,
This
get
kid's a
a
terror.
get a hold of this fucking kid. It was like, you wanted to hold him 2 years ago. Go fucking play imagination with him downstairs. And the game is he hits you in the fucking leg with a golf club because you're a wizard or something. That's your problem, not mine. I'm getting fucking shit faced. It's Christmas Eve.
That's definitely my role as Uncle Tim to Kat's sister and husband, their kids. They
Yeah.
just beat the living shit out of me, and that's fine. Like for right now they're 5 and 7, so I
Yeah.
can take the beating. It doesn't necessarily hurt, but
Right.
once they get closer to like middle school, it's probably going to get annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Kids are annoying. Mine won't be. He'll be very polite.
It's funny that those same kids, they go down the shore every year, and Kat and I went one time, but not for like the full week. We just went for I think like 2 or 3 days. One of their parents, I'm sorry, so like kids, Ray and Lauren is Kat's sister, Ray is the husband.
Uh-huh.
One of Ray's parents rents a place just like a block away to kind of be down there at the same time. They just don't have like a place that can fit all of them.
Right.
Anyway, so that they we were down there with Ray, Lauren, the kids, myself, and Kat. Oh, and Kat's parents are there too. That's the other thing is that like there's just too many people to be under one roof, so that's why they get two places. So we walked down to Ray's parents' place, and the kids like Ray and Lauren are great parents, but
Yeah.
like I think they're on vacation, drinks were happening, and they kind of just let the kids run loose because they arrive and they just walk in and they're screaming, "We're here, we're here, we're here," and they're just running circles around the living room, and then they're jumping on the couches, and then like no one's corralling this, no
No, yeah.
one's like and especially like it's a room full of parents, but
Yeah.
especially when the parents are there, you don't want to be that person that like steps on their toes
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
disciplines their kids in front of them to be like,
Exactly. Knock
chill
it
the fuck
off.
out.
Hey,
Yeah,
knock it
exactly.
off.
Right. So, of course, inevitably, Jack, who at this point was like 3 years old, he's jumping on the couch. He jumps on the edge and loses his balance, falls backwards into the coffee table and cracks his fucking head. And like everyone thinks he's like cracked his head open. Like it was a thud. Like it was not good. But I get what you're saying when like they
Was there
finally
blood? Was there blood?
there was no blood,
Oh
but he had this
yeah.
welt. I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
sure. I'm sure.
and I mean, he did not stop crying for like 15 minutes straight. It pretty much just like ruined the evening.
Yeah, the vibe is like it's hard to recover from a major fall. Because then it's like, oh, do we go to we're on vacation? Do we go to the fucking hospital? Like,
Right.
what are they going to do at the hospital? He doesn't need stitches. He may have a concussion. What do you
Mhm.
do? But, it is what it is. I've definitely been a little kid and gotten sick on vacation. Like, there was one time we went to the beach and I just caught it was we like rented a house in like a New Jersey place with like my aunt and uncle and my cousins, and I feel like my grandparents were even there. They've been gone so long it's like hard to even imagine like them on vacation with us. But yeah, I just like had a stomach virus and was just like fucking puking constantly, you know what I mean? It's like I can imagine now my parents like work their fucking asses off all year, get a fucking week's vacation, spend money to rent this house, you know what I mean? Fucking all psyched to go, have a great week, and uh their fucking idiot kid is puking every 20 minutes, and when he's not puking, he's crying. It's like, oh, what a relaxing vacation. But my parents love me, and they should. I'm a great kid. No, but that's the type of shit like I'll feel guilty about, and I'll bring it up to my dad. I'll be like, yeah, yeah. Like they chuckle about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, once again, you'll be on the other side of it soon enough. I think I bring that up to my dad all the time because like my mom would come to sporting events, but it was usually like my dad was always there,
Yeah.
and definitely when I played travel soccer,
Whew.
like from I don't know, it was like middle school ages, I
Yeah.
think, and we were traveling a lot, and I
Yeah.
think back to like the distances and the time commitment that Tom Parker was committing on his Saturdays and Sundays
Yeah.
to watch his son just like run around in circles. Like it wasn't like
Yeah.
I was very good.
Yeah.
I was decent, but
Right.
so
It's still like middle school soccer.
right.
The games
Right.
aren't like it's not the beautiful game. You know what I
No.
mean?
But I think like from my perspective, I'm you get what I'm saying where like that set sounds terrible and like a
Yeah.
total burden.
Yeah.
But I'm sure on his end he was just probably like ecstatic to see
Yeah.
his son out there like running around just having a blast, you know?
Yes. Absolutely. Like, 'cause he's a good guy. And like my dad, I played hockey, and when we first started, our practices were before school in
Oh
middle
my
school
god.
in sixth
Oh my
grade. And he worked overnight, so he would come home from work and I'd like and then have to wake my ass up and go to fucking Ice Works in Aston at like 5:30 in the morning
Very familiar.
and then practice for an hour, take me home, and then I'd have, go to school from there, which was challenging at the time. But and then he would be at every game and everything, you know what I mean? And loved it. I'm sure he fucking loved it. And I hated it at the time, but I would, I'd kill to be able to do that again. But
Yeah, like, right now my schedule is 11 to 7, and the
mhm.
idea of scheduling anything at like 9 o'clock, I'm like, no, not doing it. Let alone having to get up at, say, 5 a.m. to get your ass to hockey.
Yeah.
Might even have been earlier than that.
Yeah, it was early, fucking 2 days a week, 2 days a week, going to fucking waking up before school. Oh my God. That was tough, but whatever.
Or hell, even Keenan can relate to when we did winter track in high school. We would get on a bus and go to Lehigh because it was like, I don't know, one of the closer indoor tracks. And that's not too far, but it's like an hour 15 away.
Pretty far.
And I remember my dad would come like go to those on a
My,
fucking Saturday. So we're
yeah,
getting we're getting on a bus at like, I don't know, 5:30 and 6:30 in the morning,
yeah,
on a
yeah.
Saturday to get up to Lehigh.
For indoor track,
Right.
leaps and bounds worse to watch than soccer. Indoor fucking track. How much of those days are just sitting around waiting for your one event and then sitting around waiting to go home?
And I was like the B or C heat. I was not like once again, I was just decent. I wasn't
Uh,
great.
you're on the team, like, but you weren't
Right.
you weren't challenging for any fucking records.
No. I was not going to regionals. I was not going to states.
God damn. What can you do?
I think I would do the 800, which on a
Which is
on an
what?
on an indoor track that's 4 laps, but on an outdoor it's 2 laps.
So half a mile.
Exactly.
Okay.
The people in high school that do that very fast and like compete at states, they do it around 2 minutes, if not under.
Christ.
Yeah.
That is fucking like sprinting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. I would fucking vomit. What would you do it in?
I think I was around like 230, maybe. I at my
Oh, okay.
peak, I could
Yeah.
break, like maybe get into like the 227 range.
That's not so bad.
No, I was respectable, but you know, still, like you're saying though. I mean, you're getting there super early. You just watch me stretch for like 2 hours
And would you
straight.
do like one of like you did the 800 and that was your event for the day?
No, there was multiple events I think I would do.
Okay. Maybe a relay or something.
Yeah, and I think I got thrown in like the mile or 2 mile. I don't really remember at this point. It was uneventful because I wasn't really that great.
Man, track meets seem fucking boring. Or like and a long day would be like if your kid did wrestling. Like you
Oh
go to
my
a
god!
fucking wrestling tourney and it's like there's a billion fucking people there. Your kid has like a
All the
match and
different
like,
weight classes.
oh my God. And then like either lose right away, right? And then wait around for hours to go home, or you win and you keep going and yeah, it's like whatever the case is, you're there
For a
forever.
long time.
uh, but I mean,
I
all
mean,
that being said, whatever the fuck Sally Boy wants to do, I'm there for all of it. You know what I mean? And it's like one of the things I don't understand. The thing that I'm even less forgiving of is just parents who just like, okay, maybe you can't be there for every single practice and every like, everything like that, but to even like some parents won't go to a game, which is just nuts to me. I can't in any world understand that. You know what I
what do you
mean?
mean? Like they're
Like
against
parents will
it?
just they just don't care. Like they'll just it's just something that's like, yeah, my kid plays sports and you're not there. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a pussy, but I'm gonna be there.
Back to the vacation thing, like I feel so bad. I feel like I constantly throw my brother under the bus, but they have a live-in nanny, and
Cool.
yeah, when they go on vacations, they like bring the nanny so that the nanny can like occupy the kids so they can go have fun. And I'm like, but isn't that like part of going on vacation to like experience these places with your child?
No. The child will hang out with its adult friend that raises it.
Right.
And we're gonna have fun. Man, what is that? So I've always wondered about like how does like a live-in nanny? All right, you live in like lives in the house?
Yeah. So, I mean, it also
Is she
helps that.
Eastern European or something?
So she's from England, actually.
Oh,
But yeah,
Cheerio.
her name's Charlotte. Very, very sweet. She's
Love her
young.
web.
She's like in her young 20s.
Okay.
But it is this service, and they do kind of pull people from all over the world. Like they had one from, I think, Mexico, and it really didn't work out because, like, she claimed she could drive, but then, like, when they tried to let her drive, it was like a disaster.
Oh God.
Yeah. Like just even simple things like a left-hand turn signal was like foreign to her. A yield sign just could not comprehend. So like,
Oh no.
yeah, it was really bad. So they like had to move on from her, and like the service
For the
accommodated them.
safety of their child, I
Yeah,
understand.
but yeah, so like I mean, it helps that my brother lives in this freaking mansion. Uh,
Yes.
so the basement, it's a totally finished basement, and it has like a little kitchenette, and it has like a bedroom that has its own door, and then there's like this huge other space that's kind of like Taylor, my niece's play area, but she essentially has the basement as like her area, like her living space. But yeah, they have they have two cars, but the one car is like kind of designated to the nanny Charlotte, so she can go and like food shop on her day off and stuff, and she kind of like, I mean, that's part of, I think, her payment, but it's all part of the deal, I guess.
And this so Charlotte goes on vacation with the family. Like does Charlotte have hours, you know what I mean? Or is
Yeah,
Charlotte
she
like
has a schedule
okay.
that they kind of collaborate on and such. And she like, I don't know, gets so much time off and like kind of like requests off, in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm doing air quotes. Uh, but I'm sorry, this whole thing came up, because you mentioned how like Taylor thinks Charlotte truly is her adult friend,
Yes.
because she's going back to England. I think at the end of this month. She's been here for a year, and she's deciding not to stay. She's going back home.
Oh no.
Yeah, and like
Oh man, that's
so,
tough.
and yeah, she's great with Taylor, and
Yeah.
and she loves Taylor, vice versa. But yeah, this is like her best friend leaving, but it's an adult
God.
adult best friend. It's
Like
like
yeah.
it's so strange.
Oh man, that's gonna be brutal for Taylor.
Yeah, so
That's a
we'll see.
tremendous loss.
And
Maybe Taylor will maybe they'll just be like, just take her with you.
we're good on this whole kid thing.
She likes you more. Just get come on. No, that's good for them.
Yeah, yep.
Taylor, we wish you the best. One time we went on vacation. Again, we were at the beach. This is like a story we tell my family all the time. And it was like a rented house, like in the downtown area of one of the Jersey beaches, like right by, like you could walk to the ocean, right? Sea Isle or one of
Perfect.
them, whatever. And I was a little kid, and like all the adults were like, "Oh, there! Whoa, is that him? Is that? Oh, it is him!" And they were like on the balcony looking out, and they recognized like a local uh newscaster, right? Like
It's like
the
Jim Gardner, but
so
like way less
something like
popular.
that. Yeah, yeah, like that level of celebrity, like a fucking maybe like a weatherman or something. But as a little kid, any sort of celebrity is like the biggest deal in the
Starstruck.
world. So I'm like in the living room and I start sprinting to the I got to see this celebrity. I got to see a celebrity. I've never seen one. So I run and I'm running so fast I don't realize cuz I'm like moving at the speed of light. Timmy, I'm way faster than you. I could run it in 1 minute. And I don't realize that the screen door is shut. So I
Oh
run
no.
full speed, basically head first into the screen door, and the whole thing, the entire screen door pops out. like, like I don't put a hole in the screen. I hit it, and the whole door just onto the ground. And of course, I start crying, and it was like a whole thing. But luckily, they were able to put the door back in, and I didn't destroy the door and lose their deposit or whatever. But that's kind of the antics I would get up to on family vacations. But goddamn, you don't realize those times are so fleeting when you're just a little idiot kid. What can you do? Try to pass those lessons along to your children and then feel the same frustration your parents felt when they don't heed the advice. But that's just the cycle of life, right? The kids don't understand, nor should they. They don't have to do shit.
Yeah, you mentioned how there's things that you see parents do that you totally agree with, and like stuff that they do that like really bothers you. And
Mm-hmm.
when I was first,
Can you see that on your screen?
yeah, what's up, Brittany?
Brittany, thank you, cool hat. And Brittany Koch has also done this straight into a sliding glass door. Thank you. I'm glad I'm not alone.
I mean, around that time, it should have been on America's Funniest Home Videos. You should have been like Bob Saget was handing you money for that kind of shit.
Yes, but it was, it was at a point in time where nothing was on video except
Right?
like 10 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
Like now where everything is.
But yeah, when I was first getting into the restaurant biz, I think my opinion was like I hate children, and then as I got a little bit older, just even into like my mid-20s, I was like, no, I don't hate kids. I hate the parents.
Yeah.
And the way they just don't intervene or just like discipline or whatever. I mean, hell, even one of my friends that I worked with at Iron Hill, when she started having kids, and they were like 1 and 3, and she was like, you know what? I just always said I was never going to be that parent that made my kids into like iPad kids.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, but God damn it, if we're out at a restaurant and they're acting up, the iPad fucking works. You just
Right.
you
Right.
put it in front of them and they'll shut up.
Right. It's like give them the iPad at the restaurant or have them throwing the fucking salt and pepper shakers across the entire fucking room. Or you know what I mean? I'm like, what were? Do you remember you as a young person in a restaurant as a kid? Like,
Very much so.
I was if like we would go to a restaurant and a lot of time because my brother and sister were like 10 years older than me. So after a certain point, they were completely doing their own thing. You know what I mean? Their own friends. So a lot of dinners out were just me, mom, and dad.
Mm-hmm.
BK was an only child, so she could probably relate to this. But so it was like just, I was a kid with 2 adults at a restaurant who were smoking. By the way, we only sat in the smoking section. But it was like my number one, like when we walked in the restaurant, I was looking around. I hope to God there was at least a video game, if not a small arcade. You know what I mean? Pinball, one fucking machine, anything, even like a claw machine. Just
Claw
something
machine
to,
was clutch.
something to go fucking look at. You know what I mean?
Well, if you were sitting in the smoking section, that was probably like the bar area, so you might have had TVs.
Yes. Or if there was a cigarette machine, that would kill some time. walk
Just even
up,
pulling on the
touch all the
levers.
little levers, look at the little pictures of different cigarette packs. That could get you some charge, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or yeah, and it was like, well, and then yeah, there was the bathroom. You could go to the bathroom, but sometimes you just go to a restaurant and nothing. You're just sitting there, just fucking bored, and that was the toughest. But I feel like less now. Restaurants have a video game or a pinball machine or something, but that was always key for me. That was like my, but I don't know. I don't remember my very young ages where apparently I was a actual terror. My parents called me Chucky, and I was very bad. Apparently, they had to leash me, but I ripped it off.
Wow.
And one year, I tried to climb the Christmas tree, and the whole thing came crashing to the ground. I was a
Like a
bad kid.
fucking cat.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, I was a fuck. But okay, when I was a little kid, apparently I was like a blonde haired, blue eyed kid.
Aryan
At,
Nation, baby.
and then at some point it changed. So was that bad kid accidentally swapped with me at like a fucking hotel pool or something? You know what I mean? They brought home the wrong kid and they were like, this kid's a little calmer. Let's just fucking let it ride.
You're actually not an Antonelli.
Yeah. Nah, just kidding, of course.
No,
But
I was always pretty good at the restaurant. I get what you're saying about like the claw machine, or yeah, like a Denny's would have one of those, and maybe some sort of arcade game in like the waiting area.
yeah,
But
NFL Blitz. Come on.
even if the restaurant didn't have something like that, I was pretty good. Like I was good at remembering to bring a GI Joe or two, and I just
Oh
fuck
yeah,
around with
yeah,
that
yeah,
at the
yeah.
table and just
Mhm.
be totally in my own world. You know, mom and dad would talk adult things, and even my brother would like join in on their conversation, and I just was like in my own little world.
I like crayons.
Yeah, yeah, like Ralph Wiggum from Simpsons, just like anyway.
That's difficult. It's difficult. Shit like that. I, out in public, man. I'm very forgiving of certain things parents do. Now, here's something that bothers me. I'll see. Well, first of all, I think in public, period, wearing big over the ear, like these style headphones, like big earmuff headphones, it's kind of a dorky look. Like if you're in the market or something with like
There's always one in the grocery store.
big, like puffy over, it's like you're not fucking playing COD. You know what I mean? You look like a dork, you know. That's why they make earbuds, so it's like a little low key. But I've seen people with their kids in the cart and not a baby, like a talking age kid trying to talk to a parent who has fucking over the ear big ass headphones on. And every time the kid says something, the parents be like, "What? What?" Like, dude, that sucks. Like that's not you trying to. That's not like a parent trying to do whatever they can at this moment with a kid that's like kind of freaking out to like, calm the situation. That's just a fucking idiot being selfish. You know what I mean? And like fucking ignoring his kid. So what can you listen to on your over ear headphones with your, you know what I mean? That sucks. Um,
Yeah, that's not compromising that the or making the compromise that you had a child. These are the things you're gonna have to compromise. Like you can no longer leisurely take an hour in the grocery store and listen to a podcast.
with your over ear dork headphones on,
Yeah,
like you're
you
just
can't do
showing
that.
off that you have fucking beats or whatever. You're a fucking dork. Oh my god, this story just came back to me. I worked in Rite Aid for a long time in a nasty town. Well, it's my town that I live in now, but sir, there's a drug problem in this town, whatever. There was, and there's a lot of white trash in this town, okay? There was one um, customer who would come in all the time with like a toddler, and like a little baby, right? In a stroller.
Mm.
And she was always buying cigarettes and monsters and whatever. Who cares? She's a bitch. One time she came in and she didn't have money or something. So someone from that worked in the pharmacy used her personal credit card to buy diapers and formula for this woman. Just a very kind gesture for the kids, right? Because it's you fucking all the kids are like all the kids are all of our kids, and you fucking do whatever you can for them, right?
They're children. They don't know any better. They don't know their mom's a deadbeat.
Yeah. So a very very kind gesture. Um, this woman, the same like not the next day, the same day, comes back in the store with the shit that was just purchased for her kids and returns it without a receipt to get a store gift card for store credit and used it to buy fucking Monster Energy drinks. Dude, this boils my blood to no end. Like, this is the bar none trashiest fucking thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Like, that person became my enemy for the rest of time. Like, just the absolute most dog shit thing you could fucking possibly do is basically steal from someone, steal from your kids, basically. From a stranger doing something nice for your kids, you're taking complete advantage of it to buy energy drinks. You know what I mean? Like, just that shit is unforgivable in my mind. And I have less tolerance for that shit now. Is that not awful?
That's pretty bad.
Oh my god.
But then, like, I'm immediately feeling guilty about, saying that, well, if you're going to make the decision to have a kid, you need to make compromises in life. And, like, that's kind of shitty to say, too, because you never know anybody's situation and what the fuck happened that to put them in such a dire straits that you're getting handouts and returning them for, a Monster Energy drink.
That
It's like these types of stories that make people not believe in social nets, basically safety nets.
Yeah. And I fully do still. Like, I know that is just a shitty person.
Right. I mean, and that scenario is way different. Like, someone personally, like, basically handed them diapers and formula or whatever,
and this person
out of their pocket,
has kids of their own. That is, not a rich person that, is fucking living paycheck to paycheck like the rest of us. Use her fucking credit card to get this person diapers and food for their kid. Just the worst scum fuckery that you could possibly imagine. Well, anyway, hope she's in hell.
of all things to buy too, energy drinks.
Energy drinks, dude.
Like, maybe if you even go back and just get like ramen noodles, like maybe you actually just needed food. I don't like energy drinks.
Right? Like, oh my god, whatever. You know, that's just you're just nasty. Anyway, let's lighten the mood here. Did you do anything for New Year's Eve this year?
Yeah. So speaking of Kat's sister and husband, Ray and Lauren, we entertained them over at our place with the kids, and they came over around like 8:39.
Okay.
We had a little appetizer action. We had like 4 different things, and we hung out. We got drunk, and the kids, since they're 5 and 7, they're definitely of the age now where they can kind of entertain themselves. Waited until midnight. We watched the ball drop. The kids stayed up to watch the ball drop.
Nice.
And like the second it happened, the 5-year-old Jack, he just passed the fuck out. And then Maddie, the 7-year-old, she was like soon thereafter. And we hung out for another like hour, just bullshitting, just talking about life, talking about like New Year's resolutions, but more real talk of just like how we can be better humans and just
Yeah.
I don't know. Resolution just sounds so like etching in stone. I will do this for 2024. It's like no, let's just like have an open discussion about like how we can be better people,
Yeah.
and that's essentially what we did. It was great.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, dude. That's a good start to 2024, dude.
Yeah, and once again, it's like very nice that moving here I didn't know anything about this area. It turns out it's great. I really love it here. But
Oh,
it's pretty awesome to have someone right there that like you can just like on a whim be like, "Hey, you do anything? You want to like hang out and have a fire pit?" And they'll be
yeah.
like, "Yeah, sure. Come on over," you know. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how New Year's Eve felt and it was great. Also, by the way, going back to like the screens thing, so their kids don't have any systems, like no video games. Like I think mom lets them use her tablet occasionally, and that's
Mm.
like it. Jack, the 5 year old, they got him a Switch, and they got Maddie like her own tablet. Now, mind you, they put like parental controls on it so that she can only do so much, and like there's like a time limit on screen time or something like that.
Sound like Nazis. I'm just kidding.
But still, it's been interesting to see Jack like kind of immediately fall in love with video games
Yeah.
and video games for me like that was like I mean that was just such a big part of my childhood from
Same.
Atari through whatever like
Yeah.
and it was just interesting it's just also interesting they held off this long in today's day and age where like it's just ubiquitous it's
Mhm.
everywhere it's almost unavoidable.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it as long as possible. Part of me also hopes is that these kids, like our kids now, this generation will see how fucked we all are, like the older people are, and we'll just think it's so uncool, you know what I mean? Like they'll push the needle away from constant screen, you know. They'll see the videos of like Times Square as the ball's dropping and literally every person there has their
Has their
phone
phone
taking a
up
video. Like I
or
think
concerts like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I feel like that my sincere hope is that the kids now will see these videos and laugh at us and be like, "You guys are fucking idiots. Like that's you're dorks." You know what I mean? Because it has to swing the other way because I mean that's just life. But that's my sincere hope. But also I want to make sure he knows how to read. You know what I mean? Because it's like I got to read to him, and he's got to learn how to read, and he's got to fucking learn how to be bored, and he's got to learn how to fucking pay attention and all this shit before that shit gets introduced. Because it's, dude, the,
Constant stimulation.
they're insane.
Mm.
When my so we don't let him watch anything or anything on the phone. He can watch TV. We're not, we're doing our best over here. He's allowed to watch TV, but like we'll be on our phone near him and he'll like just the fucking light from the phone, the way it lights his face, like it's like the fucking ring, dude. It's like the ring from Lord of the Rings. He's just like sucked into it. Like I need it. I need it. I need it. It's crazy the shit these things do to us. It's like he doesn't know what's going on there. You know what I mean? But it's
Right.
just something about it. It's like draws him in like the fucking trap on Ghostbusters. It's fucking crazy.
I looked at the trap, Ray.
But it's tough. I mean, I don't judge any fucking parent that's because so like right now it's when they're little babies and stuff, it's like very we got him here and he's in our cocoon, right? But at a certain point, once like he's out in the world and like school and stuff, it's like
It's getting exposed to so much.
there's a wave of other influences start coming in, and it's like, shit, I don't even know how I'm going to handle that. I'm just trying to make it through tomorrow. I had to take him to the doctor today, and he had to get a shot. It was fine, but it was just, one of those things you got to do. He didn't even cry. He's a tough little motherfucker. But it's like, I don't want my kid to ever know what an elf on the shelf is. But guess what? Neither does any parent. But once they go to school, they start hearing about elf on a shelf. Then I'm one of these motherfuckers up every night trying to brainstorm a new creative thing for this elf to do. You know what I mean? It's like, God damn it.
Or that's where I learned, Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, that's where I learned a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Oh my.
Sorry, I guess I
think of that. I
Right,
didn't
like-
even think of like, yeah, you could go to your friend Derek's house. What are they going to do on the computer over there? It's like, oh my God. When I would go to a friend's house, the shit we would get up to on the computer. What if he's a little older emotionally and has older brothers that have shown him shit? Now he's going to, oh my.
Yeah, I guess
Life. But this is all like, this is life. That's life.
I think watching Jack at 5 play some video games, I already knew this about myself, but for his age, video games are so different than the like TikTok, the YouTube bullshit of these like quick hitter videos. Whereas like video games, it is actually very thought provoking. Like he kept coming to me because he would get to like a boss and he wouldn't be able to beat it. And I'm like, well, this is part of video game playing, man. You got to problem solve and you got to like try different things and eventually you'll figure it out and you'll beat them. You can't just keep coming to me to solve your problems.
Right.
And like, it just was so, I mean, it's crazy that it like took this for me to realize how like advantageous video games can be.
For sure. I don't like video games getting lumped in with cell phones and tablets. You know
Totally
what I mean?
not.
Totally
It's like
different thing.
It's an old school mindset too, because I think it was like our parents that it was like television and video games were just going to rot your brain.
Yeah.
And, it's like, no, that's not it at all. Maybe television, but
Right. And it's all fucking advertising that's doing it. You know what I mean?
right.
Video games, like, I never missed out on anything because of it. You know what I mean? It's like video games were only added to my life. They were a friend to me in times where I would have otherwise been lonely. You know what I mean? And with others, as a young person, playing video games together are like some of the best memories I have with like friends and family, like cousins and stuff, like playing games, solving shit together, like playing one player video games with someone else, switching
Totally.
the controller like every time you die, and like working together to beat shit. Like that shit is like drugs. That's the best shit. And like that's all okay. Like, you know what I mean? And video, like, I mean, Switch is kind of, it's portable, but like with like a video game system, much like the computer used to be, which will be my next thought, but like a video game system sits here. It's on this TV. When it's time to play video games, you come here, you play them, and then you leave. Much like we used to have desktop computers, that was our only option. So
I still have a desktop,
yeah, I'm on a desktop right now, but it was like,
but that's not most people.
when I went, like, but when we were younger,
Heard.
when we were
Right.
kids, when the internet was new, we went and sat at our computer. On that computer was the internet. When we got off, the internet was off. It wasn't literally following us everywhere we go, like a fucking, like the mirror from fucking the Matrix made of goo that's like all over and you can't get it off you. You know what I mean? And that's like video games, not like phone games. Like video games are still like that, in that this is where they live. I go here to play them, and when I'm done, I walk away. It's And it's like I said, like fucking man, like I mean Sal and his buddies at like you 5, 6, 7, even to up until they're too old to, but whatever, like 10 like the adults have a party, right? And all the kids go into the fucking bedroom and are all playing at our when we were young Sega together.
Yep.
Shit was that's like a dream. That's like some of the best memories you have. So
So here I am at this party of a bunch of boring adults that I
right,
cannot relate to. Like,
right,
what's here for me to do? Oh, sweet. There's a few other people my age.
yeah.
Here's this system. Perfect.
Holy shit, they have Turtles in Time. We're playing 2 player. Just
Let's
this is heaven on
go.
earth. Heaven on earth. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
if Keenan were here, though, he would say that there is something to be said about the actual, like, being in person and playing video games together, where nowadays it is so easy to be remote. But I
yeah.
would push back on him by saying, like, dude, that's what we do every Wednesday night when we play Dungeons and Dragons. You
True.
know,
Yeah,
it just makes life more convenient. We're still
yeah,
essentially playing a video game together,
yeah,
because we
yeah.
have all of this technology to bring us video and speech.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking at it through very much single player video game eyes. Like I'm very much not an online gamer. That's a whole different thing that I'm not even factoring in, like playing Fortnite or Warzone or whatever constantly or any game online with strangers for 13 hours. That's a different problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a whole other can of worms that I'm not even familiar with. I never got really sucked into that world. It never appealed to me. I like video games to me were always either couch co-op or whatever or alone.
Mm.
And I enjoyed both equally. Very meditative. Playing Max Payne. So one year my brother
That
moved.
slows down time or whatever.
Yeah, my brother moved out, and then I moved into the basement bedroom. And this basement used to be a lot scarier. And I mean, I was in high school to be honest, but I was a very young high schooler. But I was be down there at night playing Max Payne on PS2. If anyone's played this, there's a. Have you ever played Max Payne?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the?
I think I played the shit out of the first one.
Yeah, the first one. There's a nightmare scene level. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and in this scene, there's you're like walking through on pathways of blood. Okay, and you hear babies crying and stuff, and it's horrifying. And if you fall off one of these blood paths, you are, folks, if you're listening to this, look this up. You're greeted by the most horrifying, blood curdling scream you've ever heard in your life. And to be newly moved into a basement that you're convinced is haunted, you're a young teen, it's nighttime, all the lights are off, everyone's asleep, and you fucking hear this scream, you fucking turn off like you hit the switch in the back. Like you just shut it off, turn on all the lights in the room, and you're like hyperventilating. But it's the best, man. It's the best. I just I think about that all the time. Like my parents having a New Year's Eve party, and I was on Christmas break, and I think I got Max Payne 2 that year. So I was like fucking I could hear the party in the background, everything, and that's fun, and the music playing, and I'm in my room playing my brand new PS2 Max Payne 2, no school. Man, that you don't realize how good you got it until you got to wake up for work at 4 in the morning, like I do.
Yeah. Dude, even when I was in high school, so my brother was in college at this point, and once my brother went to college was when he started to like try to befriend me.
Okay,
he,
yeah,
he was
yeah,
always like pretty shitty to me when he lived in the house basically.
yeah.
But yeah, once he went to college, he started to like be cool with me. But yeah, there was one Christmas that my parents gave us the first roller coaster tycoon.
Hell yeah.
They might have given it to me, but like then of course like my brother and I played it
Mm-hmm.
Christmas night from probably like 10 o'clock until I think it was like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yes.
And in our house in Drexel Hill, my dad had these intercom, these little like boxes that you plug into the wall, and they're intercoms. And he had one upstairs and then one in the basement, so that if we were up too late, he would like call down to us and be like, "Go to bed," or "What are you doing?"
Go
Like,
to bed.
but this was for when we were in like elementary and middle school, not
Yeah.
when I'm in high school. My brother's like 21 or 22.
Uh,
It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're like, we're still playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I can hear your
But
asses giggling down there like schoolgirls. Go to bed.
like, Dad, but we're making a roller coaster. Just launch all the guests into oblivion.
Yeah, well, I was in Vietnam, so go to bed.
But still, like you're saying, that comrade, like it was just like,
Nothing like it, dude.
and
Nothing
I
like
didn't think twice about it in the moment, but looking back on it, it's one of my fondest memories of me and my brother, just
Yeah.
like trying to figure out this game and how to like, oh wait, this roller coaster we thought was really great, but every single guest is puking the second they get off and are giving a horrible rating to it. How do we fix that?
Oh, absolutely. My brother would play Final Fantasy VII, and I would watch. You know what I mean?
God, I love that game.
Yeah. So that was it's. Oh yeah. So that's very exciting. We're coming to the end here. You want to dip into sports at all? Any? There's, I mean, a lot of newsworthy stuff's happening. Anything you want to kind of want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I am wearing Flyers shirt,
I
so I
love
guess I
the,
should.
I love the Flyers.
Hey, they've been surprisingly good this year. They're fun to watch again. I love Konechny, Couturier, Owen Tippett looks like he's a legitimate piece, and like,
Hmm.
okay, maybe Chuck Fletcher, as bad as he was, made one good thing happen with when he traded Giroux. He got Owen Tippett in that deal.
Yeah.
Looks to be promising.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some like I mean Cam York and Sanheim look great.
Hmm.
There's a lot to be excited for the future of this franchise. They look to be on a new path that
They look
we've
to be
been.
on a path
Yes.
and not fucking just like flying downwards. Like
Or
they.
the half-ass like, well, we're
Yeah.
rebuilding at the same
Yeah.
time we're competing. It's like,
Yeah. You're not doing shit.
right.
Yeah.
But the Cutter Gauthier thing is the most recent craziness that happened, and
Yes.
a lot of
So,
hot takes on both sides.
so let me explain this for anyone listening in the future. So, the Flyers drafted this kid, Cutter Gauthier, 2 drafts
Which
ago.
yeah, 2022, I think. Yeah, so 2 drafts ago. By
Mhm.
the way, I mean, killer name. Just like,
Cutter Gauthier,
dude,
American kid, college player, and from the time he was drafted until 2 days ago, it was like everyone was just, there'd be, if you're a fucking Twitter person, like every goal he's like fucking cool goal he scored in college would be highlights, and everyone would be like, yes, Cutter next. Oh, he's part of the future. Awesome, awesome. He's at World Juniors. He's scoring big goals, and it's all gravy. It's all honey, and everyone's super psyched for Cutter to come into town in like probably next year, right? And everyone's awesome, Cutter Gauthier, and then all of a sudden, like that was like it went from literally 2 days ago, we watch him score this sick ass fucking goal at the World Juniors, win the World Juniors. Everyone's like, Cutter's our guy. Love it. Love it. Cut to literally out of the blue, out of nowhere, announcement comes across. Cutter Gauthier traded to the Anaheim Ducks for a second round pick, and what's the new kid's name? Dylan Nylander or something like that?
no, Quentin. No, Jesus Christ, why am I blanking on his name? Right-handed defenseman
Yeah.
who, when he was drafted, was taken sixth overall.
Mhm.
So like high draft
High
pick.
draft pick. Anyway, he was traded for anybody. And it was like completely out of nowhere. And everyone was like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on?
Jamie
What is
Drysdale.
Jamie Drysdale? We love him. He's the best. everyone's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? Fucking Flyers are fucking this. What the fuck?" And then almost like that may have lasted for 10 minutes. And then word came out that Cutter didn't want to be a Flyer, refused to meet with the team, basically was like throwing his weight around to get out of the franchise. And then somehow word never leaked. He got moved. So, and then everyone immediately, the entire tide shifted to fuck him. Cutter Gauthier sucks. He's an asshole. Danny Briere, Keith Jones are awesome. The Flyers are awesome. You don't want to be here? Get the fuck out. Like it was like the shift from we love Cutter, we can't wait till he gets here. He's the future to then it shifted for a millisecond to what the fuck to fuck you like so fast. And it was like everyone was on the same page. And now more information keeps coming out. Like he didn't want to be here. Apparently, the Flyers went to Sweden to try to talk to him, and he refused to meet with anyone. And this dude, by the way, has never played a second of professional hockey. So he's like he's an enemy of the franchise for his entire career.
Yeah, he's pulling a JD Drew.
Yeah,
you know, refusing to play for the franchise that drafted him. Like initially it caught me off guard because it was also the night that the Flyers played the Penguins, and it was like right before the game.
Yeah,
it was like wait,
crazy.
What? But yeah, like look, like you already said, he looks promising. I bet he'll have a good NHL career.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, like he hasn't played in the NHL yet, so we don't really know. The fact that the front office or just the team was able to keep this under wraps is pretty impressive.
Yeah. For sure.
And that did blindside everybody, but like, yeah, that was like my initial reaction, like, whoa, where the hell did this come from? But then I was like, wow, they kept this under wraps pretty
amazing.
damn well.
In this day and age, impossible to do.
And it truly, the little bit that we know, we don't even know all the details yet because it's like it's still so fresh, but
yeah.
it truly does sound like he just was never going to sign here. And if that's the case, he literally can do that. He can just wait a couple more years and then become a free agent and go wherever the fuck he wants, and then the Flyers get nothing in return. So that's why I'm like, all right, a shitty situation, you turned it into something. And dude, Jamie Drysdale,
he can be really good.
Right-handed defensemen, they just
don't. Yeah,
they are
coveted
yes,
in the league.
They're the like what are they called in Pokemon terms? Like the gold Charizard or whatever?
No idea.
The unicorns. The unicorns is kind of the term I'm looking for. So hey, they turned it into a positive. It could end up being wins for both teams. But yeah, like Cutter Gauthier, what the fuck, man? Like you're 19. Like I bet you'll be good, but come on. You don't have like that big of a dick yet to throw around. Like give me a break.
He just looks bad. He looks bad across the board.
Yeah, it just screams of immaturity to just not even talk to the Flyers. Like,
right?
It's very weird.
I'm excited to hear the more details as they come out. I'm eating up the drama like a little kid that loves to hear it. But whatever. I love the Flyers, and it's all good. Like this is the first like huge test for the new front office. And they pass with flying colors. But I do have to go. I must be going.
Okay.
We've gone an hour.
The only other thing, I mean, look, Sixers still regular season, so
like out of all the leagues, the regular season means like nothing in the NBA. It's crazy how little it means. It sucks. It's like I wish it meant some more, but it's like no one cares. It's strange, but
they're in the midst of like a 3-game losing streak, but I still just love watching them. I just
for
love
sure,
them.
for sure.
And then the Eagles are just in such a tailspin that I've never been less excited for a playoff game. Like I like because it's a Monday night game. I will probably watch, but if it was on Saturday or Sunday, or I don't even know if there's Saturday playoff games. I think there are.
There are.
Okay. I don't know if I'd watch because I'd probably just like go do something else. I'd probably just go like catch a movie or. But anyway, I'm sorry to keep you longer. I just had to
That's
get those
all
couple
good,
things
Dave.
out.
No, dude, that's all good. It's great to talk to you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
And
it's been a while.
tell everyone to listen to Pop Addled, of course.
Right. Pop Addle Podcast with my buddy Keenan and myself. We are recording tomorrow night, and I
Beautiful.
have like a full list of 2023 movies that I want to recap. And
Nice.
it's an extensive list, and it's like majority of movies that I have seen, but the movies that I haven't seen, I think Keenan has seen. So I just kind of want to talk about these movies, and it's also kind of inspired by you, Mike, because we've been talking a lot about how, or I've been saying how, like 2023 kind of seems like a down year in movies, and I think by the end of this episode, we might be on. We might be on your side of the argument where it's like, nah, 2023 might have been actually pretty damn good.
I mean, every major living director released a movie pretty much. So, I mean, what more do you want, Tim? Goddamn. No, I'm excited to listen and see where you land at the end of it. I'll be tuning in for sure. And hopefully we'll get another Doom Addled in there soon. We're still chugging along on old Tony Scott. But
Fuck
yeah.
yes.
So thank you. Thanks everyone for listening. Follow us on social media, Doom Thugs everywhere, Doom Thugs Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, X, of course, and YouTube. So please follow us, rate, review, subscribe, and we'll see you next month. Happy New Year, everybody.
74-year-old Holly Parker subscribes to YouTube, so
Come
you
on.
guys can figure it the fuck out.
You got no excuse. Thank you, Holly. You're our biggest fan, and we appreciate you the most. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
End stream.